Oh, tell you, I don't like this new world.
I got one other question as a refresher. Once
Sure.
the score has been given for an image,
Mm-hmm.
then I read the name. Okay, so I read the name of the image first. It gets scored, and then I read the member's name.
No, you don't. You don't read the person's name until the just only on the 12s. The artist is only mentioned when we're going through the 12s at the end, the 12 and the 13s.
Oh, okay.
And I'm
At
scoring.
no point do we mention. Pardon?
Yeah, I'm scoring from 8 to 12, 8 being the worst, 12 being the best.
Yeah, eight is that they didn't show up.
Right. And then 8 to 12 also on the theme pictures, the 7 pictures.
That is correct.
All right, got it.
As a unit, not as an individual.
As a unit. Got it.
Right. Well, what do you think, folks? Should we kick it off at 7 o'clock by my watch anyway?
We have 17 people on. Yeah,
Oh, that's not bad. I guess. I don't know. Is that what we've been doing on the other online? Somewhere around there?
I recall it's generally around 25, but I think you could start anytime.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't want to jump the gun, but we probably need to get going. Not that we have that many pictures, but still, it'll take a while. Okay. Welcome to the Sierra Camera Club, folks. This is the second competition of the year for the travel division. My name is Ed Lindquist. I'm the travel director. And with us today is Leonard James, the assistant director of travel, and Doug Arnold, who's our tech man. Without him, we're in a world of trouble. And Betty Cedarquist will be the judge tonight. And I don't know that Charlie Willard's online or not, but if you are, Charlie, if you got anything to announce, now would be the time. Or Gay Kent, if she's with us. Nobody has an announcement?
I have to unmute him.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm talking to myself.
Charlie doesn't show that he has a microphone active.
Okay.
And
I see Lori's with us. Hello, Lori.
they're all muted.
Okay. They're all muted. Okay. I'm the only one with a big mouth anyway. Okay, well then, at this time,
It looks
we will
like
let,
Mark is active now.
oh, okay.
He just left.
Charlie Willard, are you with us?
He still needs to be unmuted.
Okay, well, we'll just go on then. Okay, Betty, our judge tonight is Betty Cedarquist. She has judged for us before at the end of the year competitions, and we're looking forward to having her with us tonight. At this point, I'll let Betty introduce herself, and she's got a few slides she'd like to show us of her work, and maybe she'll give us a little commentary on them, and then we'll go into the judging. We'll do the singles first, and then the sequences. Okay, Betty?
Hello, everybody. This is such an honor. I am in awe of the talent in this group. I can't say enough of that, having judged a couple contests for you people already. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Great, okay. Okay, I'll try to be brief. I've been a photographer for decades, working for different magazines, traveling all over. Worked was a teacher, professor, adjunct professor at Folsom Lake College for 20 years. Now I travel, dabble in this and that, teach private workshops, have a grand old time. So, you know, a long background in photography as a professional. I've been publishing, like I said, for decades. That's my whole life story, right? And the silly picture you see is me after 3 days without a shower. I'm poking my silly head through a hole in an iceberg at Glacier Bay, but I was having a grand time. And I think it's a fun picture. So I guess without further ado, we could move into a few pictures, I guess. Okay. One of my favorite places I've been is Bhutan in the Himalayas. I recommend it highly. It's a place of gross national happiness, not gross national product, which I think they have their priorities in the right place. It's a simple, poor, and lovely country. And here we see the contrast between old and new in the Dzong or temple of Trongsa. And so these young monks are fixated on their cell phone and probably a video game, and in their garb that they've worn for probably 1,000 years. And I just you know, to preface all that, I've done a lot of travel photography, and I think any travel photography should represent the soul of a place. You know, who are these people? Who, you know, the people most of all. What is their country like? You know, how do we interact with them? Always with respect. And so, you know, without further ado, moving on, next picture. So this is the side shot of a festival in Bhutan. And when I've often photographed festivals, but the best pictures are not of the performers performing, it's the sideshow. And here boys will be boys. And you see the forest behind you there. 80% of the country of Bhutan is a national forest, and they're very conservation oriented. But I just love this because, you know, little impish brats will be that. I don't care where you are in the world, they are that way. And I always get a chuckle out of that. So moving on. I cheated in this picture. I always like to say that. I use Skylum sky replacement software to augment an ancient cemetery in Chiang Mai in northern Thailand. And so the original sky was kind of a grayish, but we fixed that one here. You know, as soon as you get out of the United States, we find cultures that are thousands of years old. And this is certainly an example of that fascinating place. Moving on. This is the largest Dzong in Bhutan. Back to Bhutan. I have too many pictures of Bhutan. It's called the Punakha Dzong, and it's at the confluence of two giant rivers, the Mo or Mother River, the Pho or Father River, and the Dzongs are a combination of palaces, monasteries, and government centers. So wide angle lens, it's just the sun came out just for a moment to spotlight this place. Light is everything. Light is everything, as we all know so well. So, okay, moving on. One of my favorite countries is Iceland. I hope some of you have been there. If not, put it on your list. A lot of people do go there. This is a giant glacier which has 10 syllables in its name, which I can't pronounce. On the south coast of Ireland, it was used extensively in the filming of the series Game of Thrones. And of course, we had this magic rainbow that just happened to be there. I was there for several weeks. We had rainbows every day and a lot of rain, of course. So a special place. So for every corner of Iceland is photogenic. So moving on. I've been to the Galapagos a number of times, leading groups down there. And I had fun with this because I'm on the ground looking up at this marine iguana, which is really only maybe 8 inches high. But I love his rather cocky demeanor. Um, and it's a magical place because the animals are completely unafraid of humans. I mean, you could step on them and they wouldn't even move. So another, again, candy store for you photographers. You travel photographers. I'm sure some of you have been. So next picture, photograph. Another candy store, I'm using that word too much, for photographers is Africa, particularly East Africa. Several countries offer amazing photo ops. This one is in the Serengeti of Tanzania. And this jackal had just filched a very bloody liver from a wildebeest kill that some cheetahs had brought down. But I thought the body language was kind of interesting. Like, I've got this yummy piece of meat. Moving on. So next picture. This is a rescue picture. I can here. I go into my teaching mode. I hope everybody here is shooting camera raw, because I would not have gotten this picture without that. I was overexposing for the leopard again in Tanzania, as it sat on the branch of that tree. Then it suddenly jumped out of the tree, but I had the same settings, overexposed settings, and that the raw processing brought this sort of magic moment back, and it worked out pretty well. And I could talk a lot about Robert. I could talk for 2 hours about Robert. Well, let's move on to the next picture. This is not international, but it certainly involved a lot of travel. This is North Lake, west of Bishop in California. And just finding that magic time at sunrise, working with a very wide angle lens. There were a lot of people there, but we kind of all shoved in there. You can see the frozen lake right to the lower left. It was really cold. But a lot of post-processing was involved in this. I really like doing that. So, and I teach a lot of classes in that. So next picture. This is one of Rose O'Malley's castles, and Rose O'Malley was a Irish queen in Western Ireland, and she was a contemporary of Queen Elizabeth. In fact, was on an even footing with her. There's many stories about her. Movies have been made about this woman. A lot of attitude here. And so a quick stop just along the shoreline at one of her little castles. I think every other person in Western Ireland, County Mayo in this case, last name is O'Malley. It's a great story. Next picture. Probably my favorite picture of all time. I call her One Tooth, and for obvious reasons. And this is the lady who prevails, and she worships every day at a tiny shrine, the capital of Thimpsu in Bhutan. Okay, and again, I think great travel photography is a mirror of people, and enjoy these people. I tracked her down. I just made it printed up a nice print of this picture, and I will be mailing it to Bhutan, and she will get this photograph. And I'm thrilled to be able to do that. It's hard to do with the travel stuff because you're on the run all the time, and how do you get these pictures? But it's a tight-knit little country. Everybody knows each other there, it seems. So next picture. Again, in Bhutan, I work for my travel work. I use a Fuji cameras, the Olympus camera. Any of the mirrorless cameras, I think, are perfect for this. Sony, Fuji's, Olympus, all that. And so I'm working with the 10-24 down at ground level, photographing the rice harvest in Bhutan. And so I just love the angle to sort of isolate the rice harvester, a woman here, against the Himalayas. So anyway, whoops, what did I do? I lost you. Oh, here we are. Okay, we're here. Okay, next picture. Place I've been to many times is the Amazon. Very humid, hot place. Crawling with birds. They don't ever talk about it. It's a very intense environment, and this is a shaman in the jungle, and he's draped with his father's jaguar teeth, which has been handed down generation to generation, and they harvest their potions from the jungle. And there's many different species to work with there. And again, I could talk about this man. I photographed his father as well over the years, and so pretty special. Okay, so that's the Amazon. Next, in January I was in Morocco, and we made the long trip to southern Morocco from Casablanca, and went camel riding. Yay! And certainly an experience of a lifetime. Those camels are really tall, and I felt this was sort of a quintessential view of sand dunes, camels, and this was taken at sunrise to get the really nice contouring on the sand dunes. So again, a special place. Next. Back to Bhutan. Our guide got us up at 5 in the morning, which was brutal, but we went to a convocation of about 1,000 monks in their orange robes, circling the largest sitting Buddha in the world. But the Buddha was great, but the side view I thought was, again, the stuff that not the main attraction, but the other stuff worked really well. And here we see a peak that's probably 22,000 feet high behind these goddesses, again at sunrise. It was just one of the most magical times. And I'm sure everybody in this group has probably had experiences like that. And I'm really excited to see what you have. So anyway, next picture. This is a white-crowned shrike, and I photographed Tarangire National Park in Tanzania. And they're obviously little adolescent birds. And I've had this photograph in my files for a while, but when I was playing with Luminar's sky replacement, and I go, I know how I can fix that. So I threw in a dramatic thunderstormy background, and I think that really enhanced it. So again, I'm manipulating like crazy, but again, I always tell people that I'm doing that because I really believe in being honest. So I thought it really helped. Anyway, next picture.
That's the last.
Wow, good. That's a good thing. So, okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Betty.
And thank you.
Now we'll go through the singles, Betty, and we won't comment on anything right now. We're just going to run through them,
Okay.
and then we'll go back to the first image, and
Okay.
then you'll critique it and then score it.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
Okay, that's all 29.
Wow, it's great stuff there.
Okay, we will go back to the beginning of the singles, and Leonard will call off the title of the image, and then Betty will critique it and score it. Thank you.
Okay.
This image is Carson River and Hope Valley.
Okay. I've been to Hope Valley many times, one of my favorite areas of the Sierras. Recognize the outhouses over there on the left. Yeah. Frankly, this picture doesn't do a lot for me. It's a lovely Sierra scenic, but it needs something a little bit more. I don't know. Nice skies. I like that. I'm going to give it a 9.
The next image is Mule and Minor.
Okay. This is a really funny one. The artistry is I would credit the sculptor, not so much the photographer here, but it's a great piece. What really bothers me is the miner's feet are cut off. I would have liked to have seen those in the frame. That kind of detracts. I love the way that the photographer is at a low angle, photographing against the sky, which really sets the, especially I guess it's the mule there against the background. Really nice. I'm gonna give that a 10.
Okay, the next image is Market Day in Myanmar.
Okay, I've been in many markets like this. One of my favorite subjects. This to me, it's feeling a little busy. There's so much going on. I'm not sure where my eye needs to be here. I'm seeing little kind of pieces cut off here and there, and heads, half of heads, whatever. For these marketplaces, I find you're more successful in isolating faces, or maybe photographing the vegetables or whatever. There's it's too busy. It's too busy. I'm going to give it a 9.
The next image is X marks the spot.
I actually saw this, should I say it, in another contest. The humor of this is fabulous. And so yes, some pretty amazing depth of field there. I think this is the cell phone pictures I remember from the other contest. So we have the slightly blurred background there, and then we have this funky little topographic 3D map or whatever we're calling it in the foreground. The humor really speaks to me. And then this crazy photographer kind of popping up out of the middle of it. So on that basis, I'm going to give it 11.
Next image is Vermont farmhouse.
Okay, lovely picture. I've never been to Vermont. I've spent a lot of time in Massachusetts in the fall with photographing some of these farmhouses. This feels a little static. I don't feel a lot of energy out of this. It's just a lovely picture of sort of this very peaceful scene, but it's sort of not doing anything. I'm not sure how to say that. Good rule of thirds, good color in the fall leaves. They're so magnificent. I'll give that a 10.
Okay, this image is traditional dance class, Kerala, India.
Okay, the girls' expressions are fabulous. Their body language is wonderful. The instructor over to the right looks a little tired. This is great. This is so cute. Again, the feet are cut off here on the girls, which again, I think they could have fixed that. I think they could have worked with that. It's feeling a little busy. I love the energy of the picture. The busy stuff, the cut off feet. It's good. The lighting is nice here. Pretty nice. So I'm going to give that an 11.
Okay, this image is Genji's sunrise awaiting customers.
Okay, this one really. Okay. Okay, I was seeing this message. Couldn't see the entire picture there. So, well, I'm going to stand by that 11 score. Thank you. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, it must be cut off somewhere. That's interesting. Why am I just seeing that? Let me try to expand my screen a little bit. No, that doesn't help it. I'm trying to grow the screen. I don't know what else to
Doug,
do.
go back to that image, please.
The previous one?
Yes, the one that we're concerned about.
I
Yeah,
paid-
on my screen, the feet are there also on my screen.
isn't
Yeah,
that
I'm getting a number of comments, Betty, that
why?
people are not seeing the image cut off in the same way you are.
Well, I have a little bunch of stuff at the bottom of my mute start video participants, so forth. Can I mute that or cut it off? I don't want to mess with something. Okay, but okay, let me just assume that when I see feet cut off, that's not really true. Hover the mouse side to the right. Move your mouse away from okay. I don't know what to do. I'm moving the mouse outside of the frame. Nothing's happening.
Well, at least we're getting some participation on the chat.
Yeah, there we go. Well, okay.
Everybody wants to help.
Okay, yeah, and just
Okay,
assume,
let's just move on.
and assume that we have feet when they're not all the way showing. So, yeah, okay.
Could you give us the title of this again, Leonard?
Genji's sunrise awaiting customer.
Okay, this one is amazing. The lighting is fantastic. There's a tremendous amount of energy, texture on this. And yes, I do see the whole boat. I see a comment from somebody earlier. Yes, I do see the whole boat. We have many layers of light. The light is amazing. And then we have these sort of ghostly horses on the I guess on the bank or the levee. I love how the birds just give this thing a huge energy. This is amazing. And not too many wild colors. It's just almost a monochrome image, shades of orange, I guess. I don't know. I give this a 12.
This is Noyo Harbor, Fort Bragg.
One of my favorite places. I love this place. I go there every year. There's a hotel right almost behind where this picture was taken that I stay in. Yeah, I like the framing of the stalks there. What do we call those? And a wide angle lens, obviously used for this. Lovely framing. Pretty skies. It does capture a sense of that place. I have been on a rowboat, rowed most of the way up that river, which is several miles. It's a special location. I'd give this, let's give it a 10.
Okay, this one is Edinburgh Castle, Scotland.
a great place if ever there was one. But the photographers worked very hard to liven up the color here. It feels over-processed to me. There's too much contrast. I love the angle. I think it's really nice composition, good, again, rule of thirds. I like the flowers as foreground. Again, maybe it's just a personal bias, the what I call over-processing, too much. I give it an 11 just because of the processing issues. I would tone that down a little bit.
Okay, this one is Lisbon Sardine Shop at Night.
The magic light. This is great. Just kind of one of the reasons we go to Europe is to have beautiful views like this. Isn't this just stunning, magical, and people are out, enjoying the evening, promenading. It's great. Really like this. I mean, colors are just right. There's no hot spots, which is typical of night shots. I give us a 12. The eye, yeah.
London Eye.
Oops, sorry, I was not supposed to say anything. Oh gosh, this is great. Looks like it's some lovely HDR processing. It's great. And the famous cranes on the horizon there, yeah. I love the sky. That's just really dramatic. I mean, this is one of those skies that, you want to save in your, I don't know, in your files somewhere. This is great. The boat really gives it scale down there. This thing is huge. As I was chatting with Doug before this, I've been to London many times. What a great city that is. I'd give us a 12. Aha.
At Night.
Okay. I teach
Could
boating.
you repeat that?
Sorry.
Could you repeat that, please?
Bodie at Night.
Yeah, I've been teaching I'm on my 17th year of teaching Bodhi workshops, and I go here often, and I know this truck very well. Hard place to photograph because it gets really cold there, as I'm sure the photographer can vouch for. Yeah, there's, yeah, we do a lot of light painting when we're there, that kind of thing. We're photograph the Milky Way. Can't tell, maybe it's my screen. I'm going to pretend like that truck is not cut off. I don't think it is, the bumper. It's minuscule even if it is the case. But it does capture a real moment of that haunted old ghost town. It looks a little bit fuzzy. Again, it might be my screen, but I don't think so. Just you're working with long time exposures to get those stars in there. You're getting a little bit of star trails, which means probably 30-second or what? Probably a 45-second exposure. I don't know what it would be here. I'm going to give this a 10.
This is Azores Village.
Oh, wow. I'd love to go there. I haven't been. Really powerful composition. Wow. The rock walkway there and the black and white, it's high contrast. Wow. Normally I don't like that high contrast, but I think it really works here. The photographer has an excellent sense of composition. So thank you for that. It's lovely. But all those different stones. Wow. Leading lines are right there. I'm going to give this a 12.
Okay, this is Paddling Home from Pismo Beach.
Oh, back to our home state, right? What a bucolic scene. I mean, it's just, you just want to be on that boat. I mean, I want to be on that boat. Looks like it's anchored, just enjoying the sunset, and somebody's out there paddle boarding, which I think adds a really nice touch to that, a very bit of energy to what would normally be a very static scene. And it's sort of classic California Mediterranean coast, and I mean Mediterranean climate coast, not as California coast, and those lovely cliffs. This is gorgeous. I want to be there. This is a 12. Oh,
This is Blind Artisan Oaxaca. Oaxaca. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But
Oaxaca, I think.
Oaxaca. Okay.
My friends have been trying to get me to go here for years. The expression on his face is just priceless. And the light on his face is just incredible. And he loves that sculpture. I guess it's one that he produced himself, like it was part of himself, which of course it is. This is just, oh gosh. The body language, the lighting. Normally I wouldn't want a blown out doorway or whatever that is on the right, but I think it really works. It's just fine here. It doesn't detract. Yeah, I think it's a moment. It's just I'm sure a fleeting moment, and then it was gone. It's just one of those priceless moments. I'm giving this a 12.
Isle of Skye.
Ooh, I'll be there, leading a trip there next year, hopefully. One of the more intense climates on the planet, I guess, with the permanent rain and whatever goes on there. The drama of this is amazing. I love how that foreground knob or knoll kind of fits in so beautifully in composition with a slightly pastel background. That's just dynamite. Well thought out, high drama. I'm sure captures a sense of what's here. So I'm giving this a 12.
This one is Carnival Legend Departing Tracy on Fjord, Alaska.
I've been to Tracy Arm, I don't know, but probably dozens of times, and also of Endicott Arm, which is right next door. I love the boat on the right. That gives it, again, energy, this little tiny tour boat, and the giant cruise ship beyond there. What a lot of people don't know is to get into Tracy Arm, you have to cross a 20-foot moraine, we call it, so that it's water only 20 feet deep, and that cruise ship has to inch over that, and with high, strong currents. I mean, really strong currents. I've seen buoys knocked over by the currents. I like the composition here. The lighting is just, it's okay. And most of the time it's raining. 9 times out of 10, it's just pouring rain or foggy up there. But you can't control the weather. You're there when you're there. I'm giving this an 11.
This is Pole Dancer, Oaxaca.
Aha. The shadow and the little graffiti down there really, really makes this. Love the angle. Of course, you're going to be shooting up when you're shooting at a stilt walker, pole walker. I would have been tempted to clone out that power line. It's to me, it's really distracting. But sometimes I know that people want to, be true to what's there, and I completely understand that. The shadow really makes it. I mean, people tend to forget shadows. Your brain kind of tunes them out, but you photographers know what's going on with that. It's great. A 12.
Banana Venda, Ahmedabad, India.
Tell me, I see the hands cut off. Do the rest of you see all the hands there?
Yes.
No, the fingers, the very tips of the fingers are missing on my screen.
Okay. All right. Just curious. He has a lovely face. I feel the background's really busy. Uh, which bothers me. But wow, what a face. Nice lighting. That's just great. And, you know, aside from the background, some nice composition. And we'll assume that the hands are there. And again, you can, with the new cameras, which they're high megapixel, you can sometimes, you know, back off, include a more, you know, more edge material and crop later if you need to. I mean, that's what I would do. Anyway, I give this an 11.
Colebrook River, Massachusetts, I guess, or Maine, MA.
Massachusetts.
Okay. It's a lovely picture. Again, you want to be there. It's just these beautiful fall colors. It looks like an absolutely beautiful place. The contrast is too much. It's just too much, and it needs to be toned down. You know, I built my background. I ran a black and white darkroom business for many years, and we work in tonalities here, and highlights are, you know, a really big part of that. Really, Adam's zone system. So for that reason, it's technically challenged. You know, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. I think it could be fixed, but I don't know. So I'm giving that a 9.
Aussies having a good time, Manly Bay.
I love this. Look at this. Whether they're drinking a Foster's or something, they're just having a good time. Tattoos, a hat. I want to be with these guys. Let's go. Let's go. You know, have a good time. And they're inviting you into the picture. And it's just and you know, a lot of what travel photography is photography is about is connecting with your subject, and this sure does that. I give this a 12. It's just so happy. It's just such a happy picture. A 12.
Voice is fading a bit. Did you say 12?
12. Can you hear me?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Happy picture.
Douro Wine Country, Portugal. I don't know how that's pronounced, but
Mm. Okay. What a sweet part of the world. Olive orchards and vineyards. Again, you just want to be there, enjoying their good food. Look at that. It's just a lot of lovely layering with the landscape. This is really, it's just lovely. I guess they're on a river or bay, where the photographer is. I'm going to give this an 11.
Rice Harvest, Indonesia.
Okay, this shows, again, you know, people at work, people doing what they do so well. Look at the dragonflies. Wow, they're working out there in the tropics. I'm sure it's very hot. Hard at work. The lighting is really rough there. And of course, you don't always have that choice. I mean, you're out, you can choose not to take the picture or take the picture, whatever. The lighting detracts, I think. I would give that a, let's give it an 11.
Okay, this is Ring of Brodgar, Orkney, Scotland.
Okay, I love the black and white here. I think that really enhances that much more than shot in color. Clouds are amazing. That's just a fabulous picture. Very dramatic. And these are hard to do. The weather in the British Isles is, it's like, well, it's miserable. I've got to just say it. I was in Ireland last year and it rained every single day, but still we had an amazing time. Really dramatic. I'm giving that an 11.
This is Aborigine Fire Dance, Sydney, Australia.
Wow. That is a very powerful human being, mentally, physically. Look at that guy. He's pretty amazing. I think I would have gone for less depth of field. You just really isolate that face, get rid of some more of that really busy background. A lot of our lenses let us shoot at f2.8, f4. I would go in that direction if possible. Love the body language here. Lighting isn't perfect, but wow, it's still pretty darn amazing. But that's just 11. I give it an 11.
Excursion vessel in front of Hubbard Glacier.
What glacier?
Hubbard.
Oh, Hubbard Glacier. Okay. Yeah. Never been here. I've been to. Wow. Okay. I love the little people just sort of standing up there on that top deck and like it's going to fall over or something. Gives a sense of scale to this face, which is probably around 300 feet high, which is phenomenally huge. I would have maybe had that boat a little bit more to the right, but I'm being really picky here. So it's sort of coming into the picture a little more, or just crop it from the right. I think you could do that and that would help it. Typical gray sky weather, which is better actually for photographing glacier ice. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 10.
Arches National Park.
Okay, stunning sky. It is absolutely beautiful sky. However, that lump of rock, I guess it is, really doesn't do anything for me. I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe it's I'm trying to imagine creatures in that rock, but no, it just doesn't make it. I'm gonna great sky, but it stops right there. I'm gonna give that an 8.
Alabama Hills.
Another favorite place. Very Ansel Adams here. This is what he would be proud. Wow. Okay, it feels a little bit blown out on the top rocks on the left. I'm just being super picky here. And it could be my screen, so I'm just gonna pretend like it's my screen. Lovely black and white, great skies. I love the skies. So I'm gonna give this a 12.
Sutter Fort.
Yeah, and their reenactment days. That's a fabulous place to go. I love the way that the docent is framed by the wagon canvas there. The background is rather jarring because it's more contemporary, modern. Maybe it's not. Well, I don't know. It just jars. It's just too, doesn't quite work. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay, that's all the images. Now what we will do is we will go through the 12s, and Betty, if you can pick from the 12s the image of the night, that would be great.
Okay.
You can ask us to take out we can go through them, and then you can ask us to take out some or keep them or where, however you want to do it. Or
Mhm.
after we go through them real quick, if you know which one you like the best, then that simplifies things. So,
Yeah,
so
let's
we'll
go.
run through them. Run through them, Doug.
That's all.
Okay, I know the winner. It's going to be our sculpture from Oaxaca with this little carved horse.
This one?
That one. Yes.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
see,
an
which one is,
amazing picture.
hold on for just a second. I got to figure out which one that is.
That's that's the blind artisan, Oaxaca, number 15.
Is he blind?
Yes,
Wow.
Yeah,
that's what it says.
okay, that was done by Gary Kaywood.
No,
No,
that's
it wasn't.
Kathleen Grady.
I got, I'm looking at the, yes, my eyes jumped up one. That's Kathleen Grady's. Pardon me.
Oh.
Okay, now you can, if you could just show the other 12, Doug, and then Leonard can tell us who did them, who the artist is.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Okay,
Okay.
or do you want me to?
No, I got it. I just wanted to
Okay,
get the, okay, this is Genji Sunrise Awaiting Customers, and that's Don Goldman. Next one, well, not sure which one that is.
Lisbon Sardine Shop at Night.
Okay.
That's also Don Goldman.
This
London Eye is Doug Arnold. Azorian Village, that's Paulo Oliveira. Paddling Home from Pismo Beach, that's Gary Kaywood. Isle of Skye, that is Joe Finkelman. Pole Dancer, Oaxaca, that is Kathleen Grady. Ozzy's Having a Good Time, Manly Bay, that's Deatley Cahill. She's a new member, or he's a new member, I'm not sure. I think it's a woman.
Love this shot.
And then the last one, Alabama Hills, that's Joe Finkelman. Now, do we want to take a break in case we have to visit the little room or anything? And then we'll come back and do the
I'd
do
like
the
to
sequences, is that all
I'd
right?
like to get up and stretch
That
while
sound-
you're arranging that. Would you mind doing that?
Yeah, okay.
Be back
Yeah,
in-
let's have it, let's take a little, take what, 5 minutes? Is that enough?
Sure.
Okay, let's take a 5-minute break and then we'll come back and do the sequences. Thank you.
How's it going? I am ready when you people are. I'm back. Stretch. Got a drink of water.
Well, I'm chewing on a piece of candy.
Hey, it's kind of nice working at home. We can.
It is. This is pretty nice. The travel is good too. The travel distance was excellent. Doug, are we ahead of you?
No, I'm here
No.
Okay.
whenever you're ready.
Leonard,
I'm
how
here.
about Leonard?
Just coming back.
You want to start up? You want to start up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Doug, run through the travel sequences one time and leave them on the screen. Not a long time, but enough for her to get a good look, Betty to get a good look at them. And
Okay.
then I will go back to the beginning of the sequences, and then Betty will critique them and give them a score. Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Now, do we need Leonard to call off the titles? They're actually on the screen. Does anybody care whether they're read or not?
Doesn't matter to me.
No? Okay, well, we won't read them, Betty, then, because they're on the screen.
Okay,
Except
right?
for the one, there was one where the part of the title was off the screen at the bottom, but
Okay.
I think we can get the gist of it.
Tell me if I'm going too fast, Betty.
No, fine.
That's the last image of this sequence.
Okay. So do you want me to critique it then and
Yes.
score?
Yes,
Right?
please.
Okay. Well, the photographer here has a excellent sense of black and white photography, tonality, very professionally done. I really like this. Nice organization sequence. I'm guessing they either hiked or took a mule down there. That's one heck of a walk. My gosh, I've never tried it. I've rafted the Grand Canyon, but never climbed up those hills. They were lucky to have the overcast and the lovely cloud effects. It's just beautiful. I mean, any one of those could stand alone. I think I'd give this a 12.
That's the end of that one.
Okay. Kind of hit and miss here. There's some just beautiful image. The beautiful picture. I feel so badly for these workers. My gosh, what an awful job out there in the hot sun and these salt flats and pushing that stuff around in their families back home. The picture of the woman inside is sort of at odds with the rest of it. I know she's part of the family and all that. I'm sure that's going on, but it doesn't quite fit. And some of the pictures just like this one, it's on the first one, just doesn't quite do it for me. But a very difficult photograph or sequence to do. I've never even heard of these places. Dramatic story. I think it could be worked even harder. Of course, in travel, you don't always have the time. Can't be at the right place. I really, really, really respect that. I'm going to give this an 11.
That's the last of that one.
Okay, the Palouse, the famous Palouse. I've only been here once. I'm desperate to return. I would love to be up there right now. Americana at its best, and I really think this sequence does show that, because we're celebrating pride of our nation, which we can be so proud of in many ways. The step-toe view, of course, is the classic view that we all love to photograph. I'm going to give it a 12.
That's the end of that one.
Okay, having just come from this country, yeah, right there too. I've had similar photographs. These pots have quite the smell to them. I guess you've heard. They give you little sprigs of mint to hide the odor as you're photographing. I think rather than try to show all the artisans, I would have shown one, at the most two of the art groups, and just stayed with that to give more of a continuity. There's a lot of it's really busy backgrounds, but of course that's what you've got. You know, you're working with kind of what you have. So we're kind of stuck. Yeah, I mean, the artisans of Morocco are phenomenal and varied. They're an amazing thing to see. I'm going to give this a 10 for the whole series.
What was that again?
What
10,
was the score?
10,
And thank you.
1-0.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure.
That's the last of that one.
Okay. Wow. I have never been to Yellowstone in winter, and now I want to go. Look at those pictures. Each and every one of them stands out absolutely beautifully. Each picture is a knockout. You know, I think they do tell the varied story of Yellowstone at this time of year. The wildlife, the scenics, all of it. That bald eagle taken off out of the tree. That's not easy to do. Gorgeous photographs. Stunning material, professionally done. 12. I give you a 12.
That's the end of that one.
Okay. I love these. I love this series. You're making this really hard. There's so many good pictures in this entry, this category. I love the sensitivity of what the photographer is doing here. These are, and here is we're staying tight with one theme. You know, one group of artisans, and showing their simple yet loving ways of what they do here. I mean, this is really nice. This last picture kind of bugs me because whatever she's pouring from that pot is right in the middle of her face. But oh gosh, love the angles that the photographer used. I mean, they really thought this through, and they he or she obviously had a wonderful rapport uh, with the subjects. Love their faces. I would have looked, maybe gotten more pictures of their beautiful faces. I'm going to give this an 11.
And that's the last image.
Okay, the photographer, whoever he or she is, shows a real obvious love for this part of the world. Excuse me, I get some water. I mean, I just get that sense that this is a beloved place. I don't know if that's true or not, but showing the different corners of this tiny part of the world, really, different light. That person, I think, has a ways to go technically. Several of the pictures are really fuzzy, not really, I guess, fuzzy enough that they bother me. And so there's some marking it down a little bit on that. Maybe it's my screen. I don't think so, but I would give it an 11.
Okay, that is all of them.
Wow.
And we have 3 12s. So we'll go through the 12s, Betty, and you can pick the sequence of the night from those 3 sets
Okay,
whenever Doug's ready.
I'm ready anytime.
Okay, that's it.
You're making this really hard. These are beautiful. I should add that some of the Palouse pictures are a little oversaturated, so I'm going to kind of downgrade it for that reason. I don't. I'm giving the winner to the Yellowstone, winner in Yellowstone.
Great, thank you very much. And winner in Yellowstone was done by our tech man, Doug Arnold.
Hey,
Good
hey,
job,
hey.
Doug.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
the other 12s are, okay, that's the Descending into the Grand Canyon. That was Aaron Bassini.
Beautifully done. Beautiful.
The Palouse, Eastern Washington was done by Truman Holtzclaw.
Okay. Yeah, that's
And
good.
that's it. Doug, since we have a little bit of time, I think nobody's in a hurry. Could you kind of tell us a little bit about your sequence as you show it on the screen?
Well,
That would be nice.
it was a trip we took last February, late February. Charlie Willard and Pat and Chuck Honeycutt were on the trip, and it was really cold, but it was really a varied number of things to photograph. We
Yeah.
saw just about everything that you could see there. The gray wolves were taken at the Wolf and Predator Center in West Yellowstone, and the rest of it was at Mammoth Hot Springs and in the park itself.
Well,
Stunning
thank
work.
you. That was wonderful. Okay,
Absolutely
Betty.
stunning.
Well, thank you very much.
And
Betty did a
thank you.
wonderful job.
Well, an honor to do this, and you have such a talented group. I can't say enough about that. I am in awe. I hope I can do as well someday. So that's just beautiful work. Thank you for doing that.
Even when we're sequestered into our homes, we don't do too bad. do
All
we?
right. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
this worked out great.
Anybody else have anything? I'm sorry, Betty. I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm just making noise. It worked out great. I think this remote stuff is good.
Yeah,
I've not done this
it
in
works for
person.
me.
Yeah. perfect.
I do miss seeing the members though. I do
Yes.
that.
Oh my gosh.
But
don't we?
this is nice. Thank you, Doug, again for all your help. We couldn't do this without you. And thank you, Leonard. And I guess that'll do it for tonight, unless somebody has one last thing they want to shout out.
Thank you, Ed, and thank you, Doug and Betty.
The chats come up on the screen very quickly. I hope you got to see some of them. Is it possible to look at those again after we go offline?
Well, this whole thing will be recorded, so if they came
Even
up,
the chats?
if they came up on
Yeah,
the
because
screen,
I know Gay Kent had a chat to me, and by the time I noticed it, it was gone. So I'd like to see what she had to say. But anyway, yeah, I think things went well. I appreciate everyone's efforts and the great photography.
Yes.
Sierra Camera Club comes through again. Thank you, Betty, and we will definitely keep you on our list of people to call when we need someone.
It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you. Good night,
Okay.
folks.
Good night.
All right.